And hundreds of Afghan refugees are expected to resettle right here in Illinois.
And now lawmakers and advocacy groups are working on a plan to get them housing and other resources once they land here in Chicago. And WGN's Mike Lowe is joining us now live with more on that effort.
Ray and Micah, good evening to both of you. Tens of thousands of Afghans who worked with U.S. forces are among the nearly 120,000 people who were evacuated from the international airport in Kabul. Hundreds of them could wind up in Chicago.
Nearly 100 countries have pledged to take in people fleeing Afghanistan. About 500 refugees are expected to resettle in Illinois. Refugee advocacy group Refugee One spokesman Jim Porter told WGN News in a written statement, quote, "They've already begun arriving and will continue to arrive in greater numbers in the weeks and months ahead." U.S. Senator Dick Durbin held an online news conference today to address the refugee situation.
I will do everything I can in Illinois to make sure that we are a welcoming state to those qualified to be treated with that status.
Durbin says special immigrant visas will likely be granted to those who worked with American forces or aided the mission in Afghanistan.
In this circumstance, we're dealing with individuals who come to us after having proven some commitment to this country, even if they have never seen it.
Durbin says it's likely that dozens of refugees will enter through O'Hare Airport after a thorough vetting process.
It's policy of this country not to let anyone into this country who's dangerous, nor allow anyone to stay who's in questionable legal status, who is a danger to anyone.
Refugee advocates say the likeliest relocations in Chicago will be on the north side in the neighborhoods of Rogers Park and West Ridge, close to the Refugee One organization offices. Officials then say the challenge has become feeding and housing a population with no roots in the community. Quote, "We usually partner with local landlords who are willing to rent to refugees, which can be hard to find because most refugees don't have a rental, credit, or employment history and don't have jobs upon arrival." Durbin says providing initial assistance, especially to those who worked with Americans during the 20-year war, should be a congressional priority.
We will have to provide new resources for these refugees to get on the ground and settle down and move forward.
And Senator Durbin says thousands of refugees are right now being processed in Germany, the United Arab Emirates, and several other places. And once they are cleared, some of them will likely be in Chicago within the coming weeks, maybe even the coming days. Back to you.
But for sure, a better life here
Indeed.
in Illinois. Mike, thank you.